Hi, my YouTube family. Welcome in to another TMI Gifts collab. This is a kit, so it's going to come with everything you need. All you have to do, oh, you can't really even see my box. All you have to do is go to tmigifts.com and purchase the Santa kit. And all of these little cuties are going to come in your kit ready to rock and roll. So you can literally design with me as we go. Look how fun this beautiful ribbon is. We got some Santa. We have some smaller ribbon to match. And this is the showstopper ribbon. I love that it's double-sided. I love this tinsel edge. It's beautiful. This is beautiful, beautiful ribbon. And then this, instead of using a sign, is going to be our centerpiece, our focal point for the wreath. I did do a how-to tutorial on how I made this into a wreath attachment. Excuse me. So make sure that you go and you find that short film, or short reel, and it will teach you how to transform that pick into a wreath attachment. So here we go. We are going to start by pulling all of these tinsels on our raised work form base out. Santa's kind of getting in the way. Let me move him over just a little bit. We're going to grab our 21-inch mesh. This is beautiful red mesh. We're going to gather in our hands. So I always like to fold mine in half and then crumple it together just like this. And you see how these kind of like go in on each other? That's exactly how I want that edge to go. So we're going to find a tinsel and just twist it right in. I always like to start at the top and then I work my way to the bottom, but you work however you like. So we're going to do the poof method. So we're going to slide our hand down that mesh, measure 10 inches, okay? And put it right next to the next, oh my gosh, right by the next twisty tie. Find the next twisty tie. Words are hard this morning. Welcome in. 10 inches, measure, open that next tie, and put that mesh right down in there and give it a twist. So this is a Santa kit from TMI Gifts. Make sure when you are shopping at tmigifts.com, you use my code OWL20, and you're going to receive 20% off your entire order. I will link everything in the description of this video. So if you do forget, you can just go right to the description of the video and just click that link. And I will also put my discount code in there as well. So you know you have all the tools. You have all the tools. I love Christmas. It's one of my favorite holidays to design for, and I love traditional Santa. I think traditional Santa, whimsical. I think kids are going to love this design. I don't know. It just makes me happy. It makes me so happy. Okay, I'm going to go back and kind of poof out my poofs a little bit because we're done with the top. So these are all 10-inch poofs. Make sure my poofs are poofing. We just kind of spread that mesh. It doesn't have to be perfect because this is just the first layer. We're going to go back around with that white mesh that came in your kit also. So I'm going to go directly down to the nearest tinsel tie and just twist it in. Make sure when you are twisting your mesh in these tinsel ties that you do it nice and tight. You don't want to just do it loosey-goosey. You want to make sure that you're twisting that mesh in really nice and tight into these twisty ties because you don't want that mesh to slip and slide on you later. Especially if you're designing this for a client. You don't want a phone call in a couple months and be like, oh my gosh, all my mesh. It's all loose. It's all loosey-goosey. How many of y'all have shopped with TMI Gifts before? Let me know in the comments. I always love to see who maybe is a new follower or a new shopper, or maybe has never even heard of TMI Gifts, and I'm just kind of letting them know of another wreath supply store that they can shop from. But it's really cool because TMI is not only a wreath supply store, they also sell home decor. So if you need any kind of home decor stuff, that is listed on their website as well, which is really cool. They carry Christmas tree, ornaments, and all kinds of garlands and really, really awesome things. And thank you so much for everyone who has bought a kit previously or now. I greatly appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all because, of course, whenever you use my code OWL20, it does help me out a little bit. So I always greatly appreciate y'all's orders. Okay, I untwisted that tie to twist that one back in because it already had some mesh, because I want to make sure that twisty tie doesn't get too short on us because we still have some more layers to add in. Okay, so real quick though, before we get too crazy into this and rocking and rolling, I'm actually going to move these out of the way and I'm going to add in some pipe cleaners real quick, because since we're putting Santa in the middle, I want to make sure that Santa sits on top of our wreath and doesn't fall down. So I'm just I'm grabbing 2 pipe cleaners and twisting them together like this in the middle to make one long pipe cleaner. I don't have red pipe cleaners. I need to go to the store, y'all, and buy some different color pipe cleaners. But the white will be fine. So I am going to attach this to the frame, okay, with that pipe cleaner, and we're going to go around and around and around. I am creating crossbars, and we're going to do this because we're going to add a little bit more mesh into the center for Santa's to sit down on. So this is also a great little method to use when you're using evergreen bases for Christmas and you're just adding a lot to your design. A lot of stuff in the middle because you just don't want that stuff sinking down into your wreath. Okay, I think that's good. Where are my little row? We were going. We were moving and grooving. There we go. There's my nippers. Okay, so we created one bar, and so now we're going to go in opposite direction, making a T or a cross. And we're doing that same thing, just twisting that pipe cleaner on that work form. I'm going to loop this around for stability. And then we're going to come back over here to the other side, pull it tight, and then twist, twist, twist that pipe cleaner on there, around and around a few times, and then clip off that extra. Okay, so then we're going to grab 2 more pipe cleaners. I'm going to cut mine in half, okay, and we're going to V this pipe cleaner right onto those crossbars, and we're going to do that to all 4 quadrants. I like to go in the middle as much as I can. And we're going to poof this mesh around the middle. We're going to go around the middle, and then we're going to add in the white. Okay, so now we have those crossbars. We got the pipe cleaners on there. We're going to grab that 21-inch deco mesh again. Okay, fold it in half, crumble it up, choose whichever pipe cleaner you want to start with, and just twist it down in there, okay? All right, we're going to do that same poof method, measure 10 inches, and then just put it right into that next pipe cleaner and just go in a circle, okay? We're done with that pipe cleaner, so I'm going to snip it and tuck it. Same thing, measure about 10 inches. Go to the next pipe cleaner right next door. So you see how this is just kind of filling in the center. So when we put Santa down in the center of our wreath, he'll have some more support on him, right? So he won't sink down in. This is a nice little tip to do anyways if you're using a big bulky item in your wreath. All right, we're going to lay that right down right where we started. There we go. Put that extra off. And now we're done with our mesh, the 21-inch mesh. So we're going to cut that. And then I'm just going to drop mine to the floor. Okay, now I'm going to roll this back up because I moved it out of the way, the tinsels. So now we have a nice little center coverage, right? So our Santa won't sink down. We have some coverage. Okay, so this is what your wreath should look like right now. Okay, we are going to grab our 10-inch mesh. And I always like to put something, oh wow, hold on, boop, boop, okay. I always like to put something heavy down so my mesh doesn't roll back on top of me. So we're going to do 20-inch cuts, and we're going to do the whole roll. So the reason why we do 20-inch cuts for these types of wreaths, when you use the tinsel ties, when you're doing the ruffle method, it's like the exact perfect number that you need. So you need 18 cuts because there's 18 tinsel ties. So this is going to give you the exact amount that you need if you cut your mesh at 20 inches. I love Christmas. What is y'all's favorite holiday to celebrate? I love Halloween and Christmas. Those are definitely my two favorite holidays to decorate for. I'm not gonna lie, it gets so hot here in Texas, I kind of just skip over fall. I just kind of skip over it because I'm in Houston, and y'all, we don't get a break. We get like maybe one cold month, and I can't even say cold because I know I have a lot of northerners who watch me, and they're like, you don't even know what cold is. And I agree with y'all. I totally 100% agree with all of y'all. Okay, friends, we're almost done. I like to use a rotary blade when I cut my mesh, but if all you have is scissors, that works too. I just think it's faster. It's really just whatever works for you. And then some designers don't even measure their mesh and cut it. They just measure with their hearts, which is totally fine also. But I just like to cut. I like to measure, and I like to use my rotary blade. All right, we're going to take this last little piece off. Set it to the side, throw away our trash. All right, you're gonna grab the wreath, and we're going to do my favorite. We're gonna ruffle. So your mesh is already kind of, rolling in on itself. So I just kind of utilize that. And I always like, you can do it in your hands too. Okay, you can do that. But I like to lay it down on my table. I flip it. I tuck it about an inch or two underneath. I find the middle, give it a pinch, and then I walk my hands over to the other side. And you really want to stay in the middle when you're doing your ruffle because you want your ruffle to be pretty symmetrical. Okay, so now we're going to add in this white mesh in between our poofs. So we're going to find a tinsel tie, and like I said before, I like to start on the top, but if you like to start on the bottom, that's totally fine also. So we're just going to ruffle in this mesh wherever there's a tinsel tie, and we're going in between the poofs. So we're going to go long ways. We're going to go long ways. Those were scissors. That could have cut off a toe. I'm fine. Don't be dramatic. Okay. And we're going to just keep on doing the ruffles all the way through. All the way, just like this. And we are not going to skip any tinsel ties. And make sure, I always like to go long ways because we already have the poofs poofing. So I just like to settle in right in between my poofs. And this is really going to add a lot of texture and fullness to our wreath too, doing another layer. Because if we just would have done the poofs, you could definitely see through the base. And you don't want to see through your base. Your client doesn't want that. They don't want to know how you attached everything. They don't want to see those wires. So adding in this next layer is great. Really, really great. Make sure that we're leaving those tinsels alone though after we're done, because we're going to add in some ribbon tails next. So do not cut your tinsels off just yet. Make sure you leave them alone, because we're going to need them. What city is everyone watching from today? Y'all heard me earlier. I live in the Houston, Texas area. Born and raised here my whole life. We live out in the country now, and I love it. I can't even imagine being a city girl again. And it's so funny, because if you would have known me in my younger days, I was such a city girl. I was such a city girl, such a valley girl. You know, I used to, oh gosh, I feel like people still think I'm a valley girl. A lot of people think when they first meet me that I'm from California. And I'm like, no, I'm from Texas. I'm from Texas. It's so funny. Okay, so now, same thing. We have moved on to the bottom, and we're just ruffling it in, and we're still inserting it in between those poofs, and we're still doing up and down. We're still going up and down in between that red mesh. And like I said before with the red mesh, make sure that you're tying these tinsels really tight. Use your muscles. Get those tinsels on there. Because like the red mesh, we don't want the white mesh slipping out of our tinsels later either. So make sure that you are really using your Hulk muscles today and tying in that mesh really nice and tight. Also, if you haven't moved on from Christmas, I still have some other kits available with YouTube tutorials at TMI Gifts. I have, I think, like 1 or 2 more everyday wreaths that are dog themed. They're super cute, and the YouTube tutorial is already on my page. And I also have some Halloween kits. So if you're interested in a Halloween design, that kit is still available. So the kits are really cool because it's like one-stop shop. You don't have to worry about it. You can just click, put the box in your cart, and then follow along on YouTube. So I still have the Halloween kit and the dog kit are still available. So if you're interested in a different theme other than Christmas, you can go snag those too. Okay, 1 more. You're doing so good. Y'all are doing great. How is your wreath turning out? If you're following along with me, are you loving it? Very traditional Christmas. Very, very whimsy. It's whimsy though, but I love the good traditional colors. Okay, here we go. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. What do y'all think? And remember, we filled in the center, so we're not going to have that hole. Okie dokie. Let's attach Santa. I'm going to take a sip of water real quick. It is so hot here. Oh, goodness gracious. I just realized my... Oh, I'm going to have to... Look at that. Oh, my gosh. I totally just got some hot glue on my Santa ribbon. I wasn't paying attention to my Sure Bonder. I have my glue pot on because we're going to need it in just a little bit. Look at that. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Okay, let's get Santa on and not take off a toe, Courtney. Let's not take off a toe. So, like I said before, I did a short video on how I attached all of the U-pins and everything. So go and check that out, and you can see how I made this cute little guy into a wreath attachment. So I am going to utilize those crossbars also that we added into our wreath, and I'm going to make sure Santa is secured to my crossbars that I added. Make sure, just like with anything else that we attach to the wreath, we want to make sure that we're going through the mesh and not around the mesh, because we want to make sure that Santa sits on top of it and doesn't sink down into it. So I want him to be the center. So instead of using a sign, we're going to be using this little cutie patootie. Change it up. I think this is going to be really, really adorable. Now on the sides, because he's a little bit wider than longer, like where we put the pipe cleaners on him, so I am going to utilize the actual wreath right there. So we have some really good stability for him. This hat is cracking me up. It's darling. What theme do you decorate at home in? Do you change it up every year? I normally stay with the same theme for my main tree for a couple years, and then I change it up. And this year, I am going to change up my tree. Normally, I've done farmhouse gnomes for about 3 years, but I'm going to change it up this year. I'm definitely still going to stick with that farmhouse vibe because I love that. But I think, I don't know, I might do more Santas on it. I might do some Santas. I'm actually traveling to TMI in October. We are doing a huge Christmas event. And oh my gosh, I would love for you to join us. It's going to be October 5th. You can meet Lindsay from Tarnation Creations and we're going to be designing in person. It's free. It's a free event. So if you're interested, go to TMI Gifts, and they have all of the info on their site. Oh my gosh, isn't Santa cute? Ho, ho, ho. Oh my God, I love him. That's so fun. Are you kidding me right now? He's adorable. Okay, so let's do a bow. We got to do a bow. Santa's got to have some bows. I'm actually thinking I want to do like some big double bows on him. Would that be fun? Let's do some big double bows. Okay, so we're going to grab all of our beautiful ribbon. Let me grab 2 pipe cleaners because we're going to make 2 side bows. These are cable ties. I always mix up my words when it comes to pipe cleaners and cable ties. Okay, let's get rolling. We are going to do a 8-inch tail. And we're going to do 2 5-inch loops. And then we're going to come up top. Oh, we got some fuzzies on there. And we're going to do a 6-inch tail for the top. Okay? Because we're going to do little cute diagonal bows. Oh, I should have made that a smidge longer. Okay, well, I want to fold that. So it's fine. It's fine. Make yours like 1 inch longer. Because we want to fold that. It's still going to be fine. And we're going to glue it. Yeah, that's going to be adorbs. Look how cute that is already. That's cute. That's really cute. I actually kind of like this vibe just like this. Why don't we do our bows a little different today? Let's do some, yes, I'm feeling this vibe. We're going to do some simple bows. We're going to do doubles. So we're going to do 6-inch tail up at the, or let's do 5-inch tail because we got to fold that. Let's do a 5-inch tail. We're just going to do that center loop. And then I'm going to come down right on top of this. Yeah, I like that. I like that simplicity. I'm going to actually make that shorter. Actually, I love that. Okay, these are our bows. These are our bows. We're just going to do really cute. Because this ribbon, let me tell you, it's a standalone. You don't even need, I'm going to make that a little smaller. Yeah. Yep, I love that. Do we love that? I love that. Okay, so we're going to grab our cable tie. and thread it on. Not all the way. Leave a little wiggle room so we can put our cable tie on there. Make it nice and tight. Cut off the extra. Okay, we're going to cut down these dovetails. Dovetail the ends of the white ribbon. I'm going to thread this through the loop because it's going all willy-nilly on me. There we go, and pull it down. Oh my gosh, that's adorbs. That's really adorable. Okay, we're going to do 2 of these. Also, we're going to put a little bit of glue on our ribbon right there so it stays together. And it doesn't unfold. We're going to do it to the top. I am going to fold it down again. Cute. Okay, so this will go on this side of him. That's, oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so now let's do the next one. I'm going to pre-fold this so I don't forget. I'll wait to glue it though because I don't want to burn myself. 8-inch tail, 5-inch loop, 5-inch loop. We're still going to do a 6-inch tail because I did it on that one, and I think it actually turned out really cute. And then we're going to grab our white ribbon and go a little bit shorter, like a 5-inch tail. And we're going to flip that ribbon around our thumb to do that center loop. Perfect. Twist, twist, twist. And we'll do 7 because I don't need it covering that. We're going to flip it through the tail or the loop again. Cute. Oh my gosh. So stinking cute. And then this one will go on the opposite. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Is my brain braining? It needs to look like that. Hold on. Let me flip this back over here. Sorry, guys. Yeah, because I want it like that. Okay, cool. This one we're going to thread through. I should have started it differently, but this is fine. I'm making it work. I wasn't thinking of the direction I was going. Okay. Get that cable tie going. Thread through the pipe cleaner. Cut off that extra. And now we're going to dovetail our ribbon and then glue the red. Okay, let me add a little bit of glue. I have a glue pot, but if you have a glue gun, like that works too, guys. I have a Sure Bonder glue pot over here. I don't know if is it on camera? Oh, it is on camera today. Look at me go. Look at me go. You can buy these on Amazon, the Sure Bonders. And this is just a wooden dowel stick that I use for my little dipper. Okay, so let's get these put on. They're so adorable. That's cute. Okay, so we're going to go opposite of Santa's little beard, his little face. We're going to go through the mesh again. And we're going to use the wire of the work form to attach these. I'm just twisting that pipe cleaner on the wire. Got our little hangy bow. Super, super cute. I'm going to hide that tinsel because we don't need it anymore. And then we're going to do opposite. Right on the other side of him. Going through the mesh and around the work form. Hold on, we're going to tuck that through too. Yes, that's what I want. Cute. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's so fun. Oh my gosh, that's so fun. Hold on, this one's higher. Oh gosh, hold on. Let me change that. When I like pulled it up to the camera, I'm like, wait, this one's higher. Sorry. Hold on, give me a second. Give me a second. Let me put it just a smidgy poo. Just a smidgy poo lower. These bows are cute. I love this ribbon. Let me see. Oh, yes, that's what I want. Cute, cute. Okay, so now we're going to go around and we are going to add in our ribbon tails. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's perfect numbers then. We need 3 and 3. Actually, wait, I don't want to do 3 and 3. I want to do 1, 2. I want to do 4 Santas and 2 of these. Yes, that's what I want. And we're going to do 13 inches. So we're going to do 4. We're going to do 9 Santas. 9 Santas. Ready? 1, 2. At 13 inches. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. I like this ribbon too because it's multi-directional, so you don't have to worry if Santa is facing the right direction or not when you're doing bows or ribbon tails. So that's nice. That's nice also, and it has a really nice little glitter sheen to it also, which I feel like just always adds to the whimsicalness. So we're going to fold this ribbon in half and then cut up at an angle, and we're going to get our dovetails going. Okay, so then we're going to do same amount of this 7th, 1/8 inch ribbon, and that just perfectly matches our little plaid. And I love that this is a skinnier ribbon, so it doesn't really hide our Santa ribbon, but it gives it a nice little flare too. Seven, 8, 9. I'm just going to tie into that. Isn't that nice? I love that. Make sure that you have your glue gun on or your glue pot because we are going to be gluing in some picks when we're all done with our ribbon. So make sure that you have one of those on and ready to rock and roll. All right. Such tiny ribbon. We're going to do the same thing and dovetail. Make sure that they're all stacked on top of each other when you do this, or else your dovetails are going to look, it's not going to be good. It's not going to be good, friends. All right, so this is going to go on top of our Santa. Have y'all ever used skinny 7th, 1/8 inch ribbon before? I don't know why that is so hard for me to say, so my apologies. If you're like, Courtney, you're not saying it right. It's like a tongue twister to me. It is such a tongue twister. Okay, now we're going to take our bougie ribbon, and we only need 2 up top. So we're going to do 7 total because we got to do this on the bottom also. Ooh, I just had the epiphany. Well, it's fine. Okay, we're going to do this at 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Are y'all thinking what I'm thinking? We're going to fold the edges, so it's going to be a little time consuming, but hang with me. And then we're going to do the white ribbon at 12 inches because us folding this is going to make it a little bit smaller. So I'm going to grab my 12-inch ribbon board to do the white. And we're going to need 7 of these because we're going to stack them on top of that ribbon. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this is that crystal shine, which is great because it has the glitter, but it doesn't shed. So I love these crystal shines. I think I have them in almost every single color just because they're really great and they don't flake. All right, same thing. We're going to dovetail these. And these are 12 inches. I know I changed it up a little bit because we're going to fold up that ribbon just a little bit so we can see that plaid since it is double-sided. I just think it'll be really cute. Okay, so set these off to the side. Get your glue going. Make sure it's nice and hot because here we go. Bear with me. It's going to be a little bit, but we're just going to fold this up just a little bit. I think I'm going to fold them all and then we'll glue them all. So fast forward this part. I might have should have done this before. I'm sorry. It just popped in my head like, oh, I want that edge showing. So hang tight with me. I'm just going to fold it up just a little bit. Just a little bit. And then we're going to have to glue them all down as well. It's going to be fine. You're doing great. And at least there's only 7, right? At least we only have to do this 7 times. But these little details in your wreath really make such a big difference. Your client is going to love it. Or you're going to love it if this wreath is for you. I feel like you're going to love that little detail. So we just kind of incorporate that plaid everywhere. Because it's cool in the bow, you can see like the plaid poking through, but since these are going to be ribbon tails, they're going to be down on the wreath. So you're not really going to be able to see that plaid. Okay, here we go. We're going to glue them all now, and I'm going to try not to make a glue mess. So I'm going to bring them a little closer over here. When using your glue pot, you want to make sure that your glue is about the consistency of honey. You know what? I'm actually thinking a glue gun. Is this hot? Might be better to do this. Oh yeah, we're good. Let me use the glue gun. I think it'll be faster than me trying to like not drizzle hot glue everywhere. Well, I thought that would get wires poking up on me. I don't want any wire poking me. Okay. And put that off to the side. Y'all, I love my Roby, but man, it gets hot. So whenever I use it, I always turn it on and off every so often because I just leave this bad boy on. Holy moly, this hot glue will start smoking. It gets so hot, which is so dangerous because I burn myself. I do. That huge scar that y'all see right there on my hands during my tutorials, that's a glue. That's a hot glue burn right there from my Roby. It does. It gets so hot. But I get it. It's professional. It's professional grade, so I get why. You don't need a whole lot of glue, guys. Just a little bit. Just a little bit, because you don't want so much glue that it's seeping out of the ribbon. Just a little bit. I love that meme that says, like, what does it say, that like crafters are the best, like, oh gosh, what does it say? Criminals or something, because we have no fingerprints. It's so funny. But so true. So funny and so true. Okay, that didn't take too bad. That wasn't too bad, right? Okay. Pinch, pinch, pinch. Pinch all of these together. Okay, let's get our ribbon on. So we're going to start in between the bows. And the reason why I did more Santas is because I went Santa, and then we got the red bows, and then I went Santas coming out of the top of the bows. So that's why I did a few more Santas. So we're going to grab it and layer it. So you're going to grab the Santa and then put the plaid right on top. And find the middle and then twist it right into that pipe cleaner. And I'm just going to I'm going to leave it V'd down because we're going in between. Yeah, we're just going to V it like that because we're going in between those bows. And we're going to take the Santa again. Lay it on top of each other with the plaid. Pencil that right in. And then we'll go on top. We're going to skip that one for right now. I want those ribbons to cure. And then we'll add in the red. So make sure you skip that twisty tie right here. We'll go right above Santa's head into the next twisty tie. And then we'll skip this one and go to this one and put Santa right in there. Okay. Twist them nice. So here is where you get to have, designer's choice is. If you I like the tinsel ties, so I always keep them. But if you don't like the tinsel ties, now is the time to get rid of them because we are all done with our tinsel ties sections now that we've added in our ribbon. I am going to flare these out though. Yeah, so we can really see that ribbon. Adorable. So we're going to go back to the other tinsel tie that we skipped earlier and do the red and then layer the white on top just like the other one. Find the center, give it a pinch, layer it right in to Mr. Santa. Oh my gosh, his little hat got stuck. And then I'm going to spread these out into like an X form, an X pattern, just so you can really see that beautiful Santa ribbon. Okay. Oh, I love him already. Okay, so that's the top. So now we're going to go along the bottom. And we're going to find all of these leftover tinsels along the bottom edge. And we're going to do Santa with the plaid, just like on top. Find the middle. And then I just leave these V'd down here. Grab the solids. Find the middle. Give it a pinch. And then V it right down into our wreath. You know what? I'm going to cut these just a little bit down here. Yes. Just a little bit. Okay. That's cute because I want to be able to see that plaid. Okay, so now we're going to go do Santa with the plaid. Find the middle, give it a pinch, and then put it right into that tinsel tie. Oh, I'm stuck on something. And we're just going to do every other. I'm going to do just a little bit shorter on these. Yeah, that's perfect. Oh, that's fabulous. That is fabulous. I know I dropped a ribbon. I'll get it. I'll get it, y'all. I'll get it. I actually think I didn't cut enough of the red tiny plaid, which is weird. Or did it get stuck over here? Nope. Okay. That's okay. We'll cut one more. No one's perfect. Okay, we're going to cut that like half an inch more. Find the middle. Give it a pinch. Twist them right in. Yeah, I don't think unless I dropped another one. I only see the one. That's okay though. We're hanging out, we're having a good time, we're crafting together. Or you're just watching, which I love also. I love that also. How did y'all originally find me? What platform did you originally find Southern Owls on? YouTube, TikTok, Facebook? Where did you originally see me? Okay, let me cut one more of these little guys. At 13. There we go. Dovetail it. I originally started on Facebook. Oh my gosh, it is. Look, I knew it. I knew it. Okay, that's okay. It got stuck over there. It got stuck over there. I originally started on Facebook, and then one of my clients convinced me to get on TikTok. I thought I was too old for TikTok. I got on TikTok and loved it. And then I would just download my lives from TikTok and upload them over here to YouTube. So that's originally how I started my YouTube channel. They were just downloaded lives from TikTok. So I did that for a while. And then I kind of got away from YouTube. It was a lot. It was time consuming. I had a lot going on. And then this year I really pivoted and I said, man, I really want to get back on YouTube. And I did. And I'm so thankful and blessed that y'all love my videos and y'all are here and supporting me. So thank you to my viewers who have been here since the beginning. I actually just hit 1 million views, which is huge. I hit 1 million views over here on YouTube. So thank y'all so much. I greatly appreciate all of y'all's support. Okay, this is adorable. What do y'all think so far? We're about to elevate it one more time. So in your kit, you're going to have these really fun swirly picks and these really fun snowflakes. So I'm going to add in the snowflakes first. And in true Courtney fashion, we're going to shred them. We're going to use our little muscles and start shredding our pick and just putting them down on the table. We're going to shred both picks all together. You can use your scissors, or not, don't use scissors. You can use your nippers also if you don't want to shred them. But I'm going to shred both snowflakes, and we're going to add in these really fun whimsy snowflakes. They're beautiful. Very glittery. It's going to just add that little nice little touch to Mr. Santa. Okay, let's get these in. So that's why I'm like, get your glue gun ready, get your glue pot ready, because we are about to start adding in some of these really fun elements. So here we go. We're going to dip that into our glue pot, or you're going to add a little bit of hot glue to it with your glue gun. And I'm going to go right in the middle of these layers. We have the top layer, the bottom layer. I'm going to go right in the middle, right at the bottom. And I'm going to start sticking these snowflakes in. You want to make sure that your snowflake hits the mesh, though. You need that hot glue to stick to something. And I think we have like 10 of these. So I'm just going to go every so often. Basically, wherever there is like a ribbon tail, we're going to, because there's 10, right? There's 10 ribbon tails on the bottom. So basically, wherever there's a ribbon tail, we are going to put a snowflake. And we're going to put it right in between the top layer and the bottom layer. But just make sure that you're sticking it to the mesh. Make sure your glue is not too hot too, because these little guys, these little fun, little flary things do melt. So if your glue is too hot, they will melt. So just be mindful of that, okay, friends? Whoop, that little guy's all stuck. So wherever there is a ribbon tail, that's where you're going to want to add in our snowflakes. And you want to go in between the layers, and you want to make sure that it is sticking, though, to that mesh. And yes, it's going to get glittery. You're going to have glitter, okay? It's going to be fine. It's going to be totally fine, though. I'm going to take another sip of water. This guy doesn't want to stay put. Okay, another sip of water. As we go, I'm going to move this ribbon because I feel like I'm just like carrying it along everywhere as I'm rotating this guy. So wherever there's a little ribbon tail, we're going to put a little snowflake right there. And then we're going to add in those red swirls, and it's really just going to glam it up. Remember to go in between the mesh because you need your glue to adhere to something. Cool. And be careful that you don't burn yourself. And if you do burn yourself, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And it does hurt. I know it does. How are you liking the wreath so far, friends? What do you think? All right, we got one more snowflake. And then we are going to add in those red fun swirly picks to really just glisten. Cute. Cute, cute. Oh my gosh, does that not just like scream winter? I love him. I love him. Okay, so now we are going to gently peel these apart too. Ooh. I'm going to do both. And yes, once again, it's going to be glitter. Okay. We're in fourth quarter, friends. We are coming in. We're coming in hot. We're going to be drenched in glitter. It's just going to be a part of our wardrobe from now on. We just got to get used to it. Okay. Ooh, this one doesn't want to peel. That's okay. We got our nippers right here. Nip that little guy right off. Okay. So now I'm going to start. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, and we're going to do 1, 1. So we're going to do 1 here, and then we're going to do like an X pattern to put the others in, okay? And I'm going to focus more. Ooh, hold on. We're going to go like right in between. A little bit more towards the top though. We're still going to stick with that bottom layer though. Or that, I'm sorry, not bottom layer, in the middle. So this adheres to the mesh. Sorry, tongue-tied. Okay, we're going to have to hold these in place for just a minute. Okay, we're going to go over here at our diagonal and put this guy in. And then we're going to move over to the other diagonal. So we'll have one diagonal, and then on the diagonals, okay? There we go. Pay attention to what side you want the swirls to end up on also. So kind of be mindful of what direction your swirls are going. Because you don't want them to all go the same direction, right? The more stuff I add, the more the wreath starts growing and growing. Okay, and we're going to do that same thing. We're going to bring it on to the bottom. I don't know if I want to change. I think I want to change the directions too as I'm going of the swirls. Kind of do like an every other pattern, swirl pattern. So we're going to go basically right where the bows are. Okay. And we're going to go right where Santa's beard is. Well, let's do the bow first. We'll go back. We'll go to the diagonal, and then we'll go We'll do the bottom one. Okay. Oh, that one's perfect. It already has the stuff on it. We're going to go right on the bottom. And then we're going to have a little bit of these little fun grass left over. And I'm just going to kind of fan those out like in the center, like right here where we didn't really put anything, right? So we didn't put the swirl. So I'm going to grab a bundle and stick that over here. So we're just carrying that red throughout the wreath, even though we don't have another swirly swirl, which is totally fine. So let me bundle some of these together. And if any of them look like they need a little bit more of the little fun grass, you can always add them. Add them in. Like, I think my top one doesn't have a lot. Let me check. Let me check on that because it looks like my top swirl doesn't even have any. Let me swirl this guy around. That one had a weird, so I'm just clipping it so it's all even. Oh, it does. It just kind of fell. Somehow it's like behind it. Let's add a little bit. We're going to add the rest of these to the top. I think that'll be cute. There we go. So we have grass kind of coming out both sides now. Okay, my friends, that is it for this tutorial. Of course, add something to the back so you can hang it, right? So you have some, oh gosh, this will not turn off. So you have something to hang it. I always use this gauged wire that I find from Home Depot. And I just cut a little bit of this off. And then that's how I use that's how I hang my wreaths. Once again, this is a kit from TMI Gifts. So if you are interested in it, you go to www.tmigifts.com, go to the Wreath Kits tab, and it will be underneath there. And you can use code OWL20 for 20% off your kit or anything else. My code never expires. So even if you shop later, my code will still work. He's adorable. So fun. I love those snowflakes with the little whimsy. Yes. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you love him. And I cannot wait to craft with y'all again soon. Bye, everyone.